this video, we're going to be going over the Verb versus Calico battle that's happening in Summer Madness 6, as well as what to do once you lay in the background. So basically, let's get started with the Verb versus Calico battle. I'm gonna give you a little history. If you don't know, this battle is very monumental for who runs the Midwest movement. This battle should have been happened, but I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad we are in a... Well, I'm not glad. I can't say that. It's interesting how the planets align when we're in a pandemic, and this COVID-19 situation creates these no crowd situations to where it's Calico, representative of Detroit, Michigan, and Verb, representative of St. Louis, Missouri, in one room. And everyone's watching. The whole world is watching. And all their battles, all throughout this all started on that New York street corner. Well, it actually started with Miles being a sacrifice by Loaded Lux. Shout out to Loaded Lux and Young Miles. This ain't nothing personal, but the truth always going to be the truth. It always will, and it's always been. You know, so Young Miles came to New York to face Loaded Lux. Gray, the infamous gray hoodie Lux, the one that no one wants to be in a room with. He died he probably died 6 times in a 3-round battle. But his sacrifice is what paved the way for SB, a background dancer for New York battle rappers back when Verb came to New York. SB, a New York person to be sacrificed, because even SB's guardian angel ducked that night on that cold New York corner when Verb came to take lives. He was not shaking hands and kissing babies that day. He totally annihilated SB. Then, as time passed along, that made the way for this young cat repping BMF. His daddy was in jail at the time. Shout out to Blackface. To get totally disrespected by Shotgun Suge in a battle and come back to finish Suge off, in my opinion. But that first round with Suge was so... That is my favorite battle of all time. Shotgun Suge displayed a level of disrespect that was unprecedented in battle rap. That is the only battle up until that point that URL and Smack had to literally do a disclaimer before the battle and let the world know. This is the only battle I remember in history of the URL Smack platform to be like, the views in this battle does not reflect the views of URL. So once I seen that, I was like, wait a minute, that's strange. These motherfuckers are so disrespectful. They curse and say they fuck everyone's mom, and they'll shit in your lawn and fucking grab a glove and stuff it in your mailbox. They're saying the most disrespectful shit on the face of the planet. So I was curious. That Shotgun Suge first round rang off like a fucking bomb in a phone, and like an M80 in a phone booth. It was just ricochet and quarters and shit flying everywhere. Then Calico, the young killer, he just came and just held his composure and came and just gave 3 fucking legendary rounds. And I just had him winning that 2-1. I gave Suge the first round just for disrespect. But both of these young men had great battles, ups and downs. Shout out to Lux. Lux wound up sacrificing Calico. And Summer Madness too. Verb wound up dying in Eclipse. Summer Madness won. They all had ups and downs, great performances. I remember Verb versus Hitman could be one of the greatest battles of all time. It was like Hitman was on 1,000, and then Verb just seemed to just always. Shout out to Hitman Holla. He was his performance, like each round was just amazing, but Verb just seemed to go one level higher every round, and then that. Hey, Big Gerald, legendary. Calico versus Tay-Rock. Bang, bang, flying through the cave. Legendary. Calico versus Ill Will. Second round, legendary. Verb versus Cortez. Oh my God. Shout out to my Brooklyn boy Cortez. That was a bad idea going out to St. Louis. He did you bad. Legendary. Verb versus Verb got so many good and bad performances, but Verb, no matter what, and Calico, both of these young, strong black men, they come to play. They don't care where they are. You could battle in a fucking barbershop, or you can battle on a bigger stage. They're not blinking. Rex voice. They coming to play. They gonna get through their shit. If you booing, they ain't gonna give a fuck. They fuck around, slap somebody, you get out of hand. So this is it. Saturday on Caffeine. Get your popcorn ready. It's about to go down. This is going to be for the king of the Midwest. I personally don't know who's going to win. Because at both of these young men, at one point in their career, I had them as my favorite battlers. You know? That was active. You know? So it's going to be an exciting time for battle rap on Saturday. Now, back to what's going on with the actual art. Now that I laid in the background thick, I just want to touch up all of the little things and make it more detailed. So what I'm doing is, I'm going in and I'm just touching up all of the little parts that may have been affected by the background, just to make it clean and precise. You know? It may take a couple layers to make it that way, but it's alright. Slow and steady wins the race. And at the end of the day, this jacket, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. You know? So you don't want to rush. You want to have a slow and steady hand and patient and see it before you do it. And you don't want to lay the paint on thick. You want thin, clean layers. You want the paint to move like watercolor. You know? And you want to make sure your brush is wet, else your paint will be too thick and you'll be wasting paint. You know? You don't want to waste the paint. You want the paint. And if it's too thick, it'll glob up. And when it dries, it doesn't look smooth. It looks like, it's hard to explain, but it doesn't look right. But this is CARTOONKIKX. And have a great day. And don't forget to tune into Caffeine on Saturday for all the great battles, specifically a Verb versus Calico.